All right, we're back with another episode of the Trenton Talks Stories podcast. Today I have a very special guest who had a lot of impact on my journey as an entrepreneur. Um, he's going to be on the network real soon with his own show, but I'm going to let him talk a little bit about that. Introduce himself.
What's going on, world? My name is Quayshaun Williams.
All right, so let me tell y'all a story real quick. When I began my entrepreneur journey, there was this photographer who always motivated me. And he always pushed me to get better, and he always offered this strong array of criticism to grow me. Because I remember when he first was doing events, photography events, gallery events, I would come in with my camera, and this is when I really wasn't really into photography, and he was the first person to really challenge me on that. Like, I'll never forget that, because I would come in, I would make a little video, and nobody would care. And Quay would be like, bro, that's all you did? He'll be like, I didn't like the video. I'm like, what? And he was telling me that, and it would just drive me like to a whole different level. So I'm always thank you for that. But I got to start with the humble beginnings of our relationship. Eventually,
He ain't like me at first.
I hated him. But it was a different kind of hate. It was a respect though, because it was like he was saying things to me that nobody was willing to say to me. Like, everybody's watching my videos, everybody's seeing my content, and they had so much respect for what I was doing. I felt like they was afraid to tell me it was trash. Like on a video level, or if on a cinematography level, or just the aesthetics. Like, people was so glad to see me doing what I was doing that I felt like they didn't want to say, "Oh, Lou, the color was off. Oh, Lou," or they didn't know. I feel like a lot of the photographers, they knew, but they liked to see me failing.
Nah, I think some people just don't know. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you hit it on the head. Some people are ignorant. Like, they don't know. If you're around a bunch of people and nobody knows what good quality is,
Right.
then they can't critique you. Like you said, they're just happy that you're doing something, you're making progress, which I was too. You get what I'm saying? But I think it's detrimental to your growth if I don't give you an honest review.
Hey, I'm not gonna touch on Facebook, but that's kind of,
you know what I'm saying?
We're gonna keep the interview rolling.
Yeah.
But no, really, that really changed my life. I swear to God, when this nigga, not only did he tell me my shit was trash, he offered to buy me another lens and went half of me in that same moment.
And some people would like it, just tell you like, yo, your shit is whack. I let you know I'm not hating on you. I'm letting you know, yo, your shit is trash. This is how you can make it better. Here's some money towards how you can make it better. Nobody's doing that. So I'm letting you know I come from a place of love.
I was still there with the stuck face.
Nah, he was still there. But that fucked him up though. That fucked him up. He wasn't expecting me to go in my pocket and whip out some cash right on the spot.
Yeah, and I'm not afraid to tell people that you did that.
No, I appreciate it.
Because it's a different form of criticism, and it also gave more form to my growth.
Right.
But not only is he a wizard on the photography side, but I remember you always told me like I'm great at business. Like, he's saying, yo, these other photographers, they might be good, but I'm good at business. And he would also give because we were in much better studios on North Clinton at the time. I got my studio there in February 2021. And it was me, a couple other business owners. We would have pop-up shops. And he would really talk to business owners as if it was just a real a real craft that they should really understand. And we didn't get it. A lot of times we didn't understand business. You know, and I remember all the times you would sit there and break things down with the X's and O's, and a lot of times we just didn't get it. So where did you get this great business foundation from?
I felt like I've been doing business since I was 6 years old. Not even. Yeah, probably that's the earliest, because I remember I started a leaf raking business when I was 6, and probably 6 or 7, and I had everybody in the neighborhood working for me. I had these 2 little white girls that lived underneath us. They was bagging the leaves. I had my cousins they was riding a bike with a wagon to transport the leaves. Like I had a whole operation, and I was like 6 or 7 years old. And I always realized that people need somebody to listen to. So why that can't be me? You know what I'm saying? And then from there, a lot of kids, I just been creative and I wanted to start my own. So I remember all the kids playing with Pokemon cards, and I would make my own cards and draw my own monsters, give them my own attributes. Or like people would play board games, I would make my own board games. So I always wanted my own. And then it just grew from, selling candy in school to doing house parties, to doing like, bigger parties, being a promoter. And then I think what really was the shift where I really got a lot of my skills that I use today is when I started working in corporate America. So besides little hustles and stuff on the street, that is what really transitioned me from, I'm literally going from the block to corporate America. And then right after I leave, I'm going right back. So I'm getting a chance to seeing all these different people from diverse backgrounds I never would have got a chance to actually run into. I'm learning Microsoft Office skills. I'm 20 years old. I'm learning Microsoft Office skills. I'm learning how to manage up. I'm learning how to manage down. I'm learning how corporate structure work. I'm learning systems and automations. I'm learning how an actual business is supposed to be ran. I'm learning. So it didn't matter whether I did photography or whether I did whatever product or service that I substitute, that I understood business. I understood how to turn profit. So I always just utilized, different skills that I learned along the way. So.
Okay, so talk a little bit about corporate America experience for you.
Yeah, corporate America was dope because, like I said, I'm 20 years old, and you got people who are a lot older than me, people who graduated college. I got this job based off networking and me knowing people. But I'm up here, I'm wearing, suits and ties every day. I'm learning how to be more polished. So not only am I'm hanging around all my friends back outside of work who are still hustling and stuff, but I'm able to go here and actually learn what real money is. That was the first time I learned what real money is. A lot of time we think money is, the nigga in the street, niggas dressing, buying nice clothes or buying nice cars. No, I'm talking about millionaires. I'm learning about generational wealth at a young age. I'm 21. I'm I was working in retirement, so I would see that we in New Jersey, right? In Trenton, New Jersey right now, and I would see a lot of millionaires, literally accounts in New Jersey. I would see how they even act. They would call up and curse people out just when they seen a dime missing from their account. You know what I'm saying? But that's how they became a millionaire, because they watching all their money and stuff like that. So that's when I really got a chance to learn about money. I really got a chance to learn about just networking and like growing a business, I would say.
I definitely could see your corporate background when we met, because you had this business, not personal mindset. Like I remember, like a lot of people, like we would all like bond with you, but then there'll be those moments where it's like contract. It'll be like contract. Well, okay, you're violating the terms and the agreements, and it would just this. You just had this switch in you where it was like, damn, it's not my friend no more.
Yeah.
A lot of people couldn't really process that, but I also like learned a lot from that, because I'm like, all right, it don't matter like what our relationship is. At the end of the day, there's a contract, there's terms and agreements, and then you just had this mode that was switched. Especially if somebody broke something in the studio or anything was to happen where they was violating, it would be we go right back to that contract. So, can you talk about how that kind of like branded you to be this individual that could be business and not personal?
Yeah, I love how you touched on that, and I love the lead into this question. But I remember that realization for me that business, not personal thing. I remember going for a position in Merrill Lynch, where I worked at in corporate America, right? Where I was clearly qualified for this position. And there was a supervisor named John Kasha. He was retired, rich already. They bought him back in just for his dynamic and who he was as a person, right? And his ability to be a leader. And I went for the position. Everybody knew I was the most qualified for this position, and I did not get the job. And when I remember talking to John and asked him, like, why I didn't get the job, and he was basically saying, because you're Mr. Popular, you're Mr. Cool, and you want to be liked by everybody. Everybody in the office likes you. And at the time, I couldn't realize what he was saying. But then I got a chance to understand, because if everybody likes you in the office, they won't respect you once he promotes me into a supervisor position, right? And the person who got the position, she wasn't the person that everybody liked, but she did her job very well. So if she got into a supervisor position, it's like you're just going to listen to her. So me, I wouldn't be a good leader, because everybody's cool with me. They'd be like, oh, I could come late. And sometimes they cross that. When you cool with people too much, they feel like they can cross that boundary. So I wanted to set the precedence early. This is business. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we can be cool, but don't forget, this is business. And John was like that. He was like a Kobe. He had that Kobe like vibe aura about him. It's like he come to work and it's like, what's up? Like, it ain't never too much. He ain't never too cool with you. So I learned that from there, just not getting that position. And I realized, okay, I can be myself, but I have to also let people know that it's business first. Because I watch how that bite me in the ass. You know, I'm your landlord. So if we too cool, you might feel like you don't got to pay me on time.
Right. Where this definitely was. Even hearing this, it kind of like puts things in full circle to see where, like, cause when I ran into you at that time, I didn't know about your background, where you're coming from. So we all coming from different backgrounds and different understandings. But it kind of puts things in full circle. Me understanding the corporate world and then running into you, it was just like, God damn, this nigga's just like them. Yeah. But it was like different. Like, it was a different vibe getting it from a person like us, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, you gotta love them and you hate them at the same time. But it taught us so much, though. Like, especially the young entrepreneurs that were around you at the time. It just definitely rubbed off a lot of game on us coming up. I think I spent a year at Much Better.
Yeah.
Pretty much a good year at Much Better. And I swear that was like the most eye-opening experience, you know, just learning so much from this guy. You know what I mean? But it was just like understanding business. Like what am I doing to create profit? And I feel like a lot of the times, like, this new age of social media, we don't really think about that. We just think about starting. We don't write business plans. We don't necessarily do the little details. And it's easy for somebody else that's really like grounded and within their business to point that out and to witness that. So,
well, not to cut your wisdom, I think that is what makes our generation so great, because there's a thing called analysis paralysis that so many people have, and they'll overanalyze what they want to do, and to the point where they'll become paralyzed because they're just constantly thinking of that it has to be right. And there's beauty in just jumping.
There is.
There's beauty in just starting, because nothing's going to be perfect. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to just start, and then you'll figure it out as you go. So I think that is what makes our generation so good, because it's a bunch of people that's just do it. Just straight Nike. Right? They just jumping in there. I always use the analysis. I learned how to swim by drowning. And I really did. My cousin Jordan threw me in the pool and I figured it out. And I think that's life. Like, I'm a father. I was frightened when I was having my daughter. And then my father told me, dogs have puppies, they know what to do. Like, you know what I'm saying? Cats have kittens, they know what to do. Alligators have kids, they know what to do. A giraffe have kids, they just know what to do. So I think you're never going to be ready, like, with different changes in your life. Like, you'll be waiting forever if you're waiting to be ready. You just got to just go, just do it. And that, it's a gift and a curse, because yes, it gets us started, but then we have to backtrack and go over them small details.
Yeah.
So,
but it's definitely great, because now it's like, even with my situation, just starting without a particular plan, but I'm still sitting on like social capital.
Yes.
And I'm sitting on influence. Now I can create a plan to monetize. But if I had not started at all, I wouldn't have nothing. I'd just be sitting on nothing. So it's like, you get what I'm saying? I could see both sides, but I'm definitely proud of our generation for just being able to start, you know, being able to follow through with anything it may be. But just to lead to the next question, what advice would you give to these young business owners out here?
I still feel like I'm a young business owner
Yeah,
too.
you are.
But I have a lot of advice. I would say the biggest thing, I'm just gonna speak for present, like it's not gonna be the sexy answer. I mean, I could say put God first. We all know that, right? We all know that, right? But like I said, this is not the sexy answer. What I would say I learned the most is bookkeeping and accounting, because that's business. You need to know what's going out and what's coming in. You need to know your bottom line. You need to know your profit and loss,
Right.
because there's so many businesses that we know that been around for decades that are literally operating in the red, and we don't even know that they are a paycheck away from being homeless. They are 1 month away from being homeless, a pandemic away from being homeless. Like, so actually getting your books right is what I would say to people. It's not the sexy thing to do. People don't want to take that day out of the month, go through their statement, organize, stop commingling, stop when you get paid. Don't go use that to go buy some Chanel. Don't go use that to buy some Jordans. Like, when you get paid, you to put it in this account, and you do your accounting. You plan, make sales goals. Because if you don't make no sales goals, then you don't have no target. So you don't know what you hit. You just winging it. My cousin always say you like a leaf just blowing in the wind. He had asked me, yeah, what you got to do today? God forbid I say, I don't know. He gonna like, what you like a leaf just blowing in the wind? Like, you don't have a plan? So making a plan, making sales goals. But I would say number one is accounting. Like, you don't have to go buy an accountant yet. You can literally create spreadsheets on your own, but look at them. A lot of times, Black people, we don't even, come on, I've been broke before. We don't even like looking at our account. We just know it's a little something in there, but we don't really want to check it. We just know it got to be something in there, so we just swiping, like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, checking your account, we the type that we don't even look at our credit. We don't even want to see it, like, you know what I'm saying? So checking, looking at this stuff, becoming aware of this stuff, checking this stuff. End of the day, check your account, see what came in. Like, we got accustomed to just getting a notification that Apple just charging us $7 every 3 days. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, check and go over these things like all the time. Young Jeezy said at the end of his song, I close shop, then I do my count. Like, at the end of the day, you go over your profit loss. What are we making today? Like, you know what I'm saying? What did we make this week? Pay yourself first. Save for a rainy day. Like I said, the biggest thing I learned is there's a lot of us that are a paycheck away from being homeless. If they don't get paid, you fucked up. So, yeah.
So let's go into a little bit more detail on when you say the green and the red, as far as profit and expenses. So for like a young business owner, that would mean as far as everything that they paid for, their expenses versus how much they made, correct? That'll put them either profit or loss. And that's what that's at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to, right?
Yeah, just pull up your last month bank statement, and it'll show you at the top, it'll say deposits and withdrawals. Like, if you'll see what came into the account and what went out of the account. So if you bought in 1,000 and you spent 1,000, what we doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you bought in 10,000, you spent 10,000, what we doing? Because, and like I said, there's a lot of people that are literally making money, but they not making profit. So they feel like they doing something. How many people, we know a bunch of people who just, you know, that person that's just always busy, busy, but they still broke. Like, you ain't really seeing nobody. You just busy doing a bunch of nothing. Or the people who just like go to the gym, but you don't never see no results from them because they not actually getting their nutrition right. You know what I'm saying? They going to the gym, but they not actually, doing their homework, not watching what they eat. You know what I'm saying? So, like, or just taking a picture and a selfie and stuff like that. So literally getting the details right, like literally just checking it, just checking what is coming in and what is going out, and layering it into categories. We have an account for a rainy day. We have an account for operation expenses. Write down what your expenses is. A lot of people don't know what their expenses is. They just winking it every time a notification come that a bill is coming up. You know what I'm saying? But you should know what I have to pay this month. Like, you know what I'm saying? What I can afford. Say no. I can't go out right now. I can't go out this month. Say no. You know what I'm saying? Like you this month you might gotta chill on DoorDash. You might gotta just start cooking some food at home. You know what I'm saying? You might gotta go back to peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Like, so I literally think it's just being aware of it. Like I said, a lot of us is just like a leaf, just out here winging it every day. And that's a recipe for disaster. Like you can do that and you can survive off doing that. We got businesses that been out here for years that are literally just operating in the red. They literally just bringing in money enough to keep the lights on and keep the bills paid and do it again. But they're not really making no profit. They're not leveraging that cash flow to go get some credit, you know what I'm saying, and create another one. So.
All right. That was a hell of an answer.
I'm not a financial advisor.
So let's talk a little bit about Much Better Studios, the innovative concept that is Much Better Studios. So not only is it a photography studio, but what also made it, very much stand out was, you had the people that were renting out the space. You had people doing events in there. You had so much come about it. So how did you come up with such an innovative concept that is Much Better?
Literally, it was just winging it. I was doing photo shoots in my living room. It's where we met. Yeah. I was doing photo shoots in my living room and in my apartment. And once you came and you brought a couple niggas with you, and then another person came, I said, I can't keep having all these niggas in my house, knowing where I live at. So I said, I gotta go look for a space. And I found a space on LoopNet, which is an app for commercial spaces, plug out there for people looking for a space. And I was like, I went on the first one I seen and took a meeting. I called them, asked if it was available. I went in, Jewish guy. I seen the space. It was an abandoned building. It was there for 20 years. And I didn't know what I wanted to do. I just know I needed a space to do photography. And he presented me a price that I couldn't refuse. It was a lot of space. And I said, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to figure it out. And that's me, right? I always bite off more than I can chew. But I know I'm going to figure it out. So I got the space. And it had rooms in there. I watched the Nipsey Hussle interview that night. He was talking about a project he was working on in LA called Vector 90, where it was like a WeWork model, and he was going to let entrepreneurs in the city utilize space in exchange for credit hours. And I was like, word, I could do that. I could rent out these spaces. So even if, photography slows down, I still got money coming in on the side, and then I'm giving other people a platform, right, to do their business. And then also it's a big space, so I could also do my events here. So it's like a three-way model. It's like I can't lose. I could do my events, I could have suite owners, and I could do my photography in this same space. I always was just thinking of a plan B and C just in case photography slowed down. Till one day I looked at $1 and I seen George Washington and was like, damn, this is a fucking photo shoot. Like, that nigga was like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, they've been doing photo shoots since the 1700s, so this ain't never slowing down. And then the pandemic happened. And when the pandemic happened, everybody was losing their jobs and wanted to become an entrepreneur. So I was able to provide them that space for them to go ahead and chase their dreams. And that's kind of just how like Much Better Studios kind of started. And then it just kind of evolved from there. We kind of built like a culture. I knew I wanted a place where it was a bunch of people like me. And like my logo is like a university because my mother made me feel like a failure growing up because I didn't want to go to college. So I was like, I'm gonna make my own college. I'm gonna make my own university, my own place where it's a bunch of people like me. You know what I'm saying? I could be, because I know it's a lot of other people that probably feel like this. So it's I wanted to be surrounded by like-minded people. I wanted to create like my own like Hogwarts, you know what I'm saying? Where it's a bunch of just dope individuals that was like myself. And that's kind of how the culture was like formed. I only wanted to be around people that was like me, and like excellence too. Like, we was predicated on the model that everybody can't come. You know what I'm saying? And that kind of still is how we operate, just like in a high quality fashion. So that's kind of like how like Much Better Studios kind of got, off the ground.
I'm a witness. All right. Let's talk about your new your newest model to your photography base, which is the
Maternity shoots.
yep.
Yeah.
Not only just the paternity shoots, but what is it called? CGI.
Oh, CGI. Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
So it's a couple things. So maternity shoots happen. I've been doing maternity shoots since I started, but it kind of became a thing where I did a photo shoot, and I put the couple underwater, and then it just kind of blew. I remember I was shooting it, and I was like, I remember the girl. So Gabriella's presented this idea to me. I don't want to take credit for it. She presented this idea for me for her maternity shoot, and I just remember looking at the picture like, how the hell am I going to do this? But I like challenges. I like things like that. I like doing the most complicated things. And fast forward, we did it. The photo shoot went viral. I put it on TikTok, and I went to sleep, woke up, it had like 40,000 views. By the end of the day, it had like 800,000. I woke up the next morning, it hit 1 million. And then I put it on Instagram and did the same thing. And then the Shade Room posted it, and it was like lights out ever since then. So that I was so happy because I went viral for what I actually do. It wasn't like it was a funny video or I was over here like you were about to lose your job, or I wasn't doing nothing
Right.
other than what I do. So, and I was prepared. I was set up that when the time came, I had a link in my bio. I had a call to action that people were wanted to book me because what I did for a living went viral. So it was almost like that 10,000 hours kind of paid off. So that's kind of how that like came about. Like I went viral for doing a maternity shoot. So obviously a lot of maternity clients wanted to book me and so on and so forth. And then CGI was different. I kind of went to LA, a model, Lala Milan. Shout out to Lala. She's actually an actress too and comedian. But she flew me out to LA for the first time this year in January. And I linked up with this girl out there who showed me a photographer that does CGI. And I knew that it's regional. Like, it's not a lot of people that do what I do. Like, it's not a lot of great people in this field that are like really on a regional scale like that. And I knew that CGI was big in like on that side of the world, LA, Houston. They use it in movies and stuff like that. So I knew I wanted to incorporate that in photography because I'm like, if I bring that over to the Northeast, I'll kill them because this is not really big over here. And that's how I think now. I think like regional. So yeah, that's kind of how like CGI came about. So now I incorporate computer generated imaging into my photo shoots. Like I use 3D. You know what I'm saying? Just because the world is changing, the world is evolving. So I want to evolve with it. I'm not scared to like, evolve with the technology. So
You're not only already being successful at what you do, but just always learning. You know, always learning. But take a step back before that. Um, Being set up to win, business wise, I feel like that's so important.
Mm-hmm.
Like for instance, 1 million people come to your page, right? You don't have no link in your bio.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have no way to even receive your blessings.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about being set up to win. How can you be set up to win?
Yeah, so like a lot of people literally just want attention, and I learned that early. That's why I really, really love being a photographer because I noticed that like I was always the new kid at all my schools. I went to a different school every year of my life, right? So I always was really popular in school because I was the new kid. So I realized that a lot of people nowadays want to be popular. They don't even really want money. They just want to be popular. So like they utilize social media just for likes, views, to fill a void that they have.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times those people are not even conditioned to know how to monetize the influence that they actually have. So one thing I wanted to make sure was that I don't really care about being popular. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to transition from turning these followers into dollars. And I feel like the best way to do that is to have a call to action. If everybody's coming to your page and you got all this influence, let's do something with that. You get what I'm saying? So when my photo shoot went viral, my website was already set up in a way where I had a system already where people could just come and it's easy for them to just book. It's a clear and concise. It tells what I do. My profile is aesthetically pleasing. I have a call to action. I have actual directions. I have a sales funnel for you to go in and literally like capture your information. So it was even people, even if people don't buy with me right then and there, I have it set up to where I can capture their information and save and sell and market to them at a later time. So that's what I mean by being set up to win, because if you're doing a bunch of stuff, right? And let's say for instance, like you are artist and you go viral, your song go viral. That's the biggest way to get taken advantage of sometimes, because you like you only got your song copy written, like you know what I'm saying, you don't got your BMI ASCAP set up, you don't even have a way where you can monetize off what just happened. So that was like the biggest thing I learned from going viral the first time was I felt like I was good and I was set up to capitalize, but there was a lot of missteps that I missed too with all this influence. I remember I'm watching my dashboard and I'm just watching it didn't even seem real. My phone didn't even feel like it was my phone. I would turn my phone on and it's just like so many people reaching out to me and stuff like that. So I was like, I need next time to have an assistant, the manpower to even field all these inquiries, because I capitalized, but it's a lot of money I missed just from responding to people 2 weeks later. You get what I'm saying? Just not having a virtual assistant to be able to help me fill some of these inquiries and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? You can't really do it by yourself. So that's what I just mean, is having a system and some automations in place to, help you when the opportunity comes your way. Because if you're not, they say luck is preparation meets opportunity. So if you're not prepared for success, you might miss your opportunity. You get what I'm saying? If you don't know what to do, if somebody's trying to give you $1 million and you don't know what to do, they're not going to give you the $1 million. Now you missed your opportunity. You get what I'm saying? So I just think it's important to always prepare for the moment, because you never know when it's going to come. And that's what going viral has taught me, to stay ready. I said, these sayings been around for hundreds of years. They're not just around for no reason. Like, stay ready so you don't got to get ready. So yeah, now I just stay ready. So
Facts.
yeah.
Another thing you've been kind of like making me think about is getting out of the local mindset. And I know you're about to go ham on this.
Well, no, I'm not even really gonna go ham, just because it's like it's a choice. You have a choice. Like you're like where you're born, you have a choice. You can stay there or you can go. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can experience this world. Some people literally live their whole life and they don't explore the world. And that doesn't mean that that's an unsuccessful life. So I had to get out of the mindset of to give, what I've learned is just giving others grace and like getting some empathy, because I used to be hard on people. I'm like, don't you want to be great? Don't you just want to be successful?
Right.
Don't you? But we need them people. Like, we need them. If everybody wanted to be great and successful, then who gonna buy our stuff? You know what I'm saying? If everybody wanted to start a podcast, who gonna listen to mine? You know what I'm saying? So we need those people. So I recently got out of the mindset of just expecting everybody to want to do what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just because God gave me that vision. Don't mean it's for everybody else. But I think it's important to travel. I think it's important to expose yourself to new things. I literally feel like I unlock certain chapters in my brain when I travel. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when I travel and I see different things, I experience different foods. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I literally, neurons start connecting like in my head, and I start to think better and become more creative. You get to get inspired by different things. Like, I'm planning a trip to Tokyo. I've been fascinated with the art there. So I'll bring different art concepts, right? Because they're way more advanced in America, different art concepts back here. And you wondering like, damn, like, why is this? Because there's a lot more artists than just in your neighborhood. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's art everywhere. There's art in Greece. There's art in Tokyo's art in Australia. So I think it's important to learn about different cultures and stuff like that if you want to grow. But that's a choice. I think growth is a choice. You can choose to stay the same, or you can choose to grow.
Would you say that national exposure kind of put you in a position where you're always like gonna be thinking this big?
Yeah, it wasn't until I went on my tour. So I did a photography tour called the Pixtape Tour. And it wasn't until that I went on my tour and I had a layover in Houston, and I had this crazy enlightened moment when I was walking through the airport. Houston, if anybody been to Houston, they know Houston has a gigantic airport. So I'm walking past the gates and I'm just looking and I'm like, damn, these people going to Dallas, these people going to North Dakota, these people, it's so many people going so many places. And I'm like, everybody's like going to live their life and stuff like that. I'm like, yo, this is like a big ass world out here. It's a big ass world, and I'll be damned if I don't go see it or don't go touch it. Because I realized how easy it was also in my field. Like if I go to, and it's kind of like anybody field. If you interview Lil Durk is from Chicago. Already you popping in Chicago just by interviewing Lil Durk because he has influence there. So if I go and I go touch these cities, then I could literally make my name in these cities, in each city, little by little. So it's not really that hard to become national. That's why you see these artists, they go on tour. When the artist has a song that blows up, they go on tour, right? To go to these different pockets and make their name. So now I think on a worldly level, I'm like, yo, I want to start traveling across the world. When you just see more, you want more. You don't realize $100,000 is not a lot of money until you get $100,000. And I'm sure it'll be the same if you get a million. You got millionaires who they want to be billionaires. Mm-hmm. Like Lil Baby don't have to work ever again. I was watching an interview and he is just like, yeah, like I'll be talking to, they said, why did you come up with the line, I don't got 100 mil yet, I can't chill yet? He said, I was talking to a billionaire. And he said he don't got 100 billion yet, so he feel like he can't chill. So now I feel like I can't chill. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's just all about what you want. And for me, I just want, it's not a money thing. I just want to constantly grow and evolve, like to my fullest potential. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think I'm ever going to feel successful. I always think I want to be much better. Like, so.
Talk a little bit about your mentality. I remember you telling me you would watch like Kobe and Jordan documentaries and apply that same mentality.
Yeah, to this day, recently I've been watching a lot of Steph Curry documentaries. So I've been watching a lot of Steph Curry interviews because I'm so competitive, bro. And athletes are like the closest that understand me. I feel like I'll be in their mindsets. I'm like, yo, like I really like got this relentlessness like about me. And like I said, I don't know what I'm chasing. There's no Grammy in my field. I just want to be the best me. So yeah, I'll be watching Steve Jobs interview from like 1992 and 1984 just to see how he was thinking before he got into the mindset of revolutionizing the world we live in to where we feel like we can't leave our house without our phone. We feel naked without our phone. How did he create a device that we are so attached to that we check it every single day? There's been hundreds of years people don't have a cell phone. Like, and they were just fine. Like, I'm talking thousands of years. We've been on this planet for a long time, and this one man came and revolutionized the world to where you feel like naked if you don't got your phone. You would feel fucked up if you don't have your phone all day. And what I learned is how he adapted the phone to us. Because back then, computers was only in workplaces and schools because they were so expensive, you couldn't afford it. And it had no function. It was for you to do your business or for you to do education. You didn't need a computer at home. And then he started putting those apps onto the computer and those productivity apps to where I don't need a calculator because it's on my phone. I don't need an alarm clock because it's on my phone. I don't need the internet because it's on my phone. I don't need a camera because it's on my phone. And people don't realize that. Like all the apps that come on the iPhone are all everyday apps. Weather. Like they're all regular everyday apps. So that's why you feel naked without it, because all the devices that you would use, he put it into one. You know what I'm saying? So I be trying to get into the mindset of a revolutionary. Like, how can I revolutionize the world? How can I leave my mark on the world? Like, how can I be remembered? Because our time here is so limited, right, on planet Earth. How can I create something that's going to outlive me? How can I create a business that my daughter don't have to do after I die? You see these people who have to run their uncle's pizza shop or it's over with. I want my daughter to be able to do whatever she want to do, and much better is still operating or whatever the business is. You get what I'm saying? Like, I want to set my family up for success. And I know to do that, somebody got to take that L. It's not that L really to win, but somebody, I be seeing these businesses, I be driving, it'd be like since 1983. You ride around Trenton, you look at some of these factories and stuff, that should have say since 1920. I look at that and I see generational wealth. You know what I'm saying? And somebody got to do it. Somebody got to be like, you know what? I ain't going to rock my hips at the party this weekend. I'm going to sit this one out.
Thanks.
You know what I'm saying? I'm going to sit this one out. I'm going to chill. And, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to get my money right. So I could really, really be set up and live my future. And a lot of people don't want that. They want they you know, shit now. They got that, it's called delayed gratification. So a lot of people don't have that. You know what I'm saying? So I want the big one. Like I've seen it. So again, that goes to traveling. I've been at my friend's house and I walked in his crib and we across the street from the where the Lakers play, and it's Basquiat's all over his walls. And he watching this, he won't know exactly what I'm talking about. It's Basquiat's all over his wall, walking through his crib. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. He like, bro, don't worry, you gonna get one of these. You know what I'm saying? It come from my grandmother telling me at a young age, you can have an airplane in your backyard if you work hard enough for it. I actually believe that. But I realized so many people was not told that. You get what I'm saying? So I think it's my job to teach people too what I know and stuff like that. We can't take this with us. So I'm real, like, I embrace my mortality. I'm real, like, I have a good relationship with death. You know what I'm saying? So where I feel like it's not about me. It keeps me so humble. I realize that I love going to the ocean. I realize that we so small. We think it's about us. You know what I'm saying? And it's not just about us. Like, every time people have come together in history, great things happen. People came together and made tables, microphones, pictures, backdrops, roads, streetlights, buildings, schools. Every time people come together, so that's what I embrace, man. It's just coming together, building something. So I don't want to be long-winded, but you know, I ain't here to save the planet. You know what I'm saying? But I just, you know, I'm real. I love people. So
There y'all have it, man. This is the motivation that I get all the time. I just wanted to share it to the world because I get these talks 40, 50 minutes just us talking. Like just like this. This is just raw uncut. But I'm just glad that, you know, because thousands of kids follow me.
Yeah.
And some kid is gonna watch this video.
Yeah.
And he's not gonna think about being a rapper or a basketball player. He's gonna think, I want to be a business owner.
Yeah.
I want to talk like him one day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're changing what's popular.
Yeah. I remember driving through out East Trenton, and the young boy, like, you know, like, what you do? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you see, I got my black Mercedes. I'm hopping. I wear the same thing, same clothes. And it's important for people to see and get exposed to people that are doing well in life other than what we see on a daily basis. So I love what you're doing. And, you know, I just want to continue to help you grow. So, this is dope. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Don't worry, though. This is a preview of the Behind the Scenes podcast.
You already know it's coming soon.
By Quayshaun on the Trenton Talks network.
Love it.
But right now you're watching the Trenton Talks story. So here, this is a story about a Trenton kid who didn't go to college and had a great experience in the corporate world and invested in themselves, thought out the box, and kept going.
Yeah.
So this is a story that we told today. Thank you for watching and listening.